Chapter 10, Wave Motion, and today we will do the topic polarization of light, because we have done till diffraction of light. So our next topic is polarization of light. Before going to the polarization of light, we are starting with the basic introduction of wave. As we know in 11th class, wave is a disturbance which is being created by any form of energy. And different types of waves. We are studying about mechanical wave. There are two forms, one is transverse, another is longitudinal. In transverse wave, the particle move perpendicular to the direction of wave motion, and longitudinal wave, it will move parallel to the direction of wave motion. Transverse wave, there is crust and trough is formed. Here is refraction and rarefaction and compression are formed. Now we will moving on to the, and in here with the help of polarization of light, we are proving the transverse nature of light. Light, now what is the meaning of light? Light is a electromagnetic wave. In electromagnetic wave, there is electrical and magnetic component. For light, only electrical component is responsible. It is also known as light vector. So we will deal only with electrical component. As we know that the propagation in electromagnetic wave, electric field is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave motion. If there is a source of light, then in source of light there is a large number of atoms. These atoms moves in all the direction as shown here. So this is the representation of unpolarized light or ordinary light. We can represent it like this also, with two axes, or one axis perpendicular to the plane of the paper and another is this. These are the representation of unpolarized light. Now first of all, how we can make the unpolarized light to polarized light? So first of all, we should know the statement of polarization. Polarization statement is restricting vibration or oscillation of a wave in plane perpendicular to the wave in one direction. It means if the light rays are moving in all the different directions, we can restrict it only in one direction, either in this direction, either in this direction, or in this direction, only in one direction. That is known as what? Polarization. So if this is an unpolarized light, this is known as what? Polarized light. Polarized light means what? Only in one direction. So to convert unpolarized light into polarized light, we have to use some devices, some material, and these materials are known as polarizers. There are different types of polarizer. I am writing two names. One is nickel prism, another is tourmaline crystal. Now the mechanical analogy. Let us suppose if there is a long stressed string, it is tied at z-axis at any of the wall, and it is stressed out. Somehow I have make a oscillation. Let us suppose if this is the string, I will press this like this, the particle will move in this direction. If I will press like this, particle will move in this direction. I will press, then it will move in. So these are the direction of the particles. If these particles are placed on a slit, this is a slit, very small narrow place, then only the vibrations which are parallel to the axis of slit can pass through it. Again I have placed another slit, they will again pass through it. So in this way we have restrict all the other directions, only leaving one direction to pass through the slits. If this same mechanical thing is converted for what? For light, then what occurs? So light is, again this is unpolarized light, it is unpolarized light. If it is formed on what? A nickel prism or tourmaline crystal, then this unpolarized light can be converted into what? One direction. That is known as what? Plane polarized wave or light. And this can furthermore again form on what? Another analyzer, and this both this. In the same way, if this analyzer is moved at different angle, so then the axis Tx and Tx dash will make an angle, and what, while making an angle, what is the change in the intensity of light form on this? This is given by Malus. The law of Malus statement is when completely plane polarized light is incident on analyzer. This is analyzer. So this is a completely plane polarized light is incident on analyzer. Then the intensity of transmitted light, this is transmitted light, I. Here the intensity is what? I is directly proportional to square of cosine, C-O-S-I-N-E, cosine of angle between the transmission axis of polarizer and analyzer, that is Tx and Tx that. Now if we will drive it, let us suppose this is the axis of what? Polarizer. This is the axis of what? Polarizer. And if it is moved, if the analyzer is moved an angle with what? Theta, then this is the axis of what? Analyzer. if the intensity of light for polarizer is I naught and amplitude is what? A, then we can resolve this in two components. This A, one is in analyzer component, another is perpendicular to the analyzer, because light is what? Light, we have studied, it is a light vector. Electrical component is vector quantity. So one component will come A cos theta, another will come A sin theta. A sin theta will not produce anything because the axis on which it is forming is what? A cos theta on analyzer. So as we know that intensity is directly proportional to square of amplitude. So here intensity I is directly proportional to A cos theta whole square. If we will solve this, then I is equal to K times of A square cos square theta. Now for this polarizer, K A square is equal to I naught. From this and this we will get I is equal to I naught cos square theta. This is the proof of Malus law. Next we will continue in next video.